What's up, everyone? It's the BumCast. I am your host, HBIC, the head bum in charge, along with Baloney, the Southside bum, and Dougie Freshness. And happy end of 2024, gents. It's been a shitty year. Happy for it to kick rocks and never have to talk about that year again. So, how are we doing, guys?
Good. Great. Ready for 2025 here.
You look 10 years younger, Johnny.
Thank you.
That's a compliment.
I got that from people at work today too. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. For those listening on the podcast, Johnny shaved. We talked about it last week, but now you're like fully shaved. You know, like
Fully
big
shaved,
razor shaved.
I mean, I still got a little stubble. I still got a little
baby
stubble.
boy.
Yeah, a little stubble, but I'm doing okay.
Rest of you guys doing good?
Yeah, you know, I'm still a little aggravated about my Thursday that I spent, but I'll save that for later.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but yeah.
Sneak
okay,
peek.
Yeah. Save it for
Sneak
later.
peek. Oh, sneak peek.
Yeah.
I feel good.
So
Jason, I saw you yesterday. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Guys, tonight I am going out with the bang in 2024. Little Arctic Panzer Wolf.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wolf.
My favorite
Okay.
Imperial IPAs, 3 Floyds. So might feel toasty by the end of the show.
Nice.
But guys, I went. I was off the past couple of weeks. I don't know what day it is, but me and the wife went shopping earlier today. Went up to Woodfield Mall. Had to treat myself, spend some of that birthday cash. Some of the aunts slipping the cards and everything. Maybe it's just my family. I don't know. But
Would you forget what month it is? Your birthday's in July.
sorry, I meant Christmas. Christmas.
I was,
Birthday.
I was like, wait, what? Like maybe you didn't see family? Like
It's Joey P's birthday. Happy birthday!
it is.
Yeah,
Your
Joey.
birthday.
Yeah, cheers to
Salute.
Joey.
Salute to
I
Joey.
meant, I meant,
That's not
I
who
meant
said
Christmas. I meant Christmas cash. That's
Yeah.
Cheers to fellow bum Joey P. Happy birthday. But yeah, took some of that Christmas cash. The aunts sometimes they slip in some cash for you and everything. So I treated myself, and here we go, guys.
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh.
Good luck.
How many pieces?
Yeah.
1949.
Jeez.
All right. Now, just for people that don't understand Legos, like I didn't. When you asked me to go to the Lego store over the summer, you asked me to, hey, go check out this one. I didn't realize until you told me to go check it out just how expensive Legos are. What did that one run?
That one was a solid 240.
Okay.
Jesus.
Not as bad as the other one, because I think the other one you were looking at was like 375 or somewhere in that.
It was 550. The one I was trying to find the Coliseum. I know the game, the hustle, the Lego hustle, man. Like shit.
Yeah.
I wish I got back into that. When I was a kid, kept all my old Legos. I would have been a fortune now.
Question. You said how many pieces is it?
1949.
Over under hours spent building it.
Ooh, good question. When I had the AT-AT and I forgot how many pieces that was, that took me about a week to do. I spent maybe hour and a. I wanted to enjoy it. I didn't want to like burn through it all in one go. So I did there's chapters in the book, and I did like a chapter a day. So some took like an hour, some took hour and a half. But yeah, I think I can this will probably take a good solid maybe 5 hours. I don't know. We'll see.
You know me. I'm always thinking in terms of content. What if we just sit you down at that big ass table you have in your basement? We put a camera on you and we place bets over under 5, 6, 7 hours. You start at 8 a.m. and you might go till 8 p.m. We don't know.
Just marathon build.
How many different chapters you think roughly?
I don't know. I would have to open this up right now and look. I don't feel like.
Okay, because I was thinking we could do like a shot per booklet and just see how crazy this thing starts building.
A shot per booklet?
Yeah.
That'd be interesting as well. This
little drunk Lego building, and then
marathon
everything's just falling apart.
It's gonna end up looking like that grill that Homer Simpson tried to
That's
build.
exactly what I was thinking. Close enough.
All right. So anybody else got some fun weekend stories before we get to some topics here?
I got to spend time with my daughter on
That's good news.
Sunday. We had to push it back a little bit because we were both sick around the time. Or she was sick. I'm sorry, they were sick, so I had to wait a little bit until they were feeling better. So we hung out on Sunday. Her and her mom. We hung out, had lunch at my mom's house. So it was fun. She opened gifts. She was excited about all the presents that she got from my mom and my dad and me. So it was a good time all around.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Before we're going to get to nonsense, we got to talk first off about something that's coming up in 10 days. God, it's so quick, so far away. A week from Friday, it's our watch party at the Ramova. Ramova Theater. We'll be at the Loft watching the Blackhawks versus the Red Wings at 6 p.m. And we have a $25 optional drink package that includes beers from puck drop all the way to an hour after the game. Best deal you'll find in Chicago when it comes to drinking. So we're gonna have some giveaways. We're gonna have our new hat's gonna be for sale. There's gonna be shots being passed around. So it's gonna be a great time. Good to see everyone. You know, we haven't seen a lot of people since Sox season has ended, but hopefully we'll get a nice little reunion going, and can't wait to party it up. So make sure you click the link that's pinned on the Bum's profile, or check out our Instagram, Ramova's website. Make sure you RSVP, and if you RSVP, which is free, also add on the party package. You have to do two separate things, but one transaction.
2 clicks, no big deal. Yeah. We're gonna do a couple giveaways. I think we can announce it. We're not gonna announce what specific day, but we are raffling off a pair of Blackhawks tickets, so that'll be fun. So free entry. You go watch a game for free if you'd like, if you want. You know, the $25 party package is there for your enjoyment. But you know, you go to the Ramova, have a free watch party, and then you go home with a couple Blackhawks tickets. Sounds like a good Friday night.
Hell yeah.
Yep. All right, and then speaking of the Blackhawks, tomorrow they are in their winter class because the NHL is a bunch of bitches, and they took it from us on New Year's Day, which was always a great New Year's Day tradition. You know, you wake up, you're a little hungover, you maybe go have some brunch, and then you watch the Winter Classic. And back when the Hawks were in it almost every year, that was great TV. But the NHL, you know, they got scared, they got cucked by college football, and now they're going afternoon on New Year's Eve, which I think is probably like the worst time you could probably put a major, you know, like hockey event on, because that afternoon, you know, you got a lot of people who are taking naps for the night. You got people who are getting ready, you know, maybe doing a little pre-gaming. That game is not going to be a major focus. So, Dougie, I know you're going tomorrow.
Yeah. And
we said the first thing, you know, like you're kind of upset because of the weather.
Yeah. You know, today, obviously a gorgeous day to have it. They wouldn't normally have it today, so I'm not too mad about that. But tomorrow, where they normally wouldn't have it, it's supposed to rain. And it's not supposed to rain like before or after. It's supposed to rain like literally at puck drop. And it's supposed to go for basically the duration of the game. So there's been a few things been tossed around. I'm not going to talk about them because I'm going to keep the good juju in the area. And, you know, I paid a decent amount of money for my tickets, and I'd like to go out there and see a game possibly. But yeah, if Gary Bettman decided that he wanted to have the fucking balls, he probably could have had a gorgeous day for hockey on New Year's Day. But little nuts.
Scared of money, don't make money. That's the saying, right? Yeah. The other thing I thought about, and it's something that, like, when it got announced, everyone was hyped. We thought about getting tickets. You guys, Dougie and Joey, got tickets, but we all thought maybe we do a watch party in the city. We've done one before. Like we you know, actually go to the game and then do like a post game or pre-game party or something like that. And you have a right to be mad, Dougie, because it is their preeminent event. You know, they make a big deal about this every year. But realistically, it's the Blues versus the Blackhawks, which is an 8th place team versus a 6th place team. They're not much better than each other. It's dog water hockey. Mm-hmm. Maybe 3 p.m. ain't the worst thing in the world. Granted, the day I agree with. They should have done it New Year's Day. I agree with that all. But the time of it, you know, like, unless you're a hockey fan, unless you're a diehard hockey fan, you make time to watch these games. And it is a spectacle. It is an event, live music and everything else. But for a casual person, you see the Blues, you see the Blackhawks, noon, 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It doesn't really make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the reason why they set those times for early in the day is because they actually have had weather delays in the past. And those games, so if you set it for the afternoon, you still have that open area in the evening where you can get it in. If you set it for like a 7 o'clock and it rains at 7 o'clock, it's going to be a terrible draw at midnight. But the second part of the thing that was a total slap in the face to me, obviously the NHL watches the BumCast. Smashing Pumpkins are performing as one of the performing artists with Chance the Rapper.
At the weird coffee shop, or actually at Wrigley Field? It's not going to be like that weird New Year's Eve last year where they said Smashing Pumpkins is performing and it's Wizzo the Clown and Billy Corgan playing patty cake together. So
that was bad. That was bad. That was really bad.
Pumpkins?
I'll admit that one.
Yeah. No, supposedly, they're supposed to be there. So,
okay.
Wow, what a show!
Yeah. I know when I'm going to be taking my piss break. But then they announced some food and drink stuff today too. So
yeah, I got the slide ready for you, Dougie. Are you going to be partaking in any of this? I got that first slide. Where'd it go? Can you guys see this?
No.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Levy decided that they were going to roll out some special items just for the Winter Classic. They've never ever done anything like this before. A nacho helmet.
They've never done a hot dog for the fucking Winter Classic before.
It's a nacho helmet. A Polish Street, Maxwell Street Polish. The cool thing that they did do is they tried to cater to the Canadians. And they are doing 2 different versions of poutine fries. And they're going to be doing a Italian beef with gravy, white cheddar, cheese curds, jardiniere, and sweet peppers. And then they're also going to be doing a short rib version, which the mini helmet is going to be a whopping $20 a piece.
Yeah, the Chicago poutine is $20.
Yep, Chicago poutine, and then the barbecue poutine is going to be $20. And then the 24-ounce beer stick, which at the United Center is the same exact beer stick for $25, is now going to be $35 at Wrigley.
A $10 increase to drive them a couple miles north.
Yeah, just to slap Wrigley Field on the side. But because I said my first time getting a hold of one of them, I would do it and chug one. Tomorrow I will be chugging one live at the Winter Classic.
I love that.
All right.
So I will be doing a
that's what we over-under bets on, is how many seconds it's going to take Dougie to chug that thing.
Yeah, so I'm interested. My guy Joey P will be my photographer, filming me as always. So he always is pretty good at that.
So how many ounces is that? 24?
It's 24 ounces. Yeah.
Okay, so chugging 2. That's chugging 2 beers. That's going to take you like 8 seconds.
Well, yeah. The only dynamic
the dynamic is the glug, the air, or like if you get caught in an air bubble because of the weird shape of it.
Right.
I thought you might have to start chugging and then kind of dip it to get some of that, the vortex, if you will.
What was the Super Troopers movie when they were trying to solve
Beer Fest?
Yeah, Beer Fest. We were trying to solve the boot vortex dynamic, and it's like you got to twist it at the right time.
Yeah. But so we'll see how that goes or whatever. I kind of wish that I would have done one at the UC, but
save you $10.
Yeah, $10 more, I guess. So
are you going to be getting any of the special nachos or poutine?
So according to this, it's only in one section. The poutine, that is, and it's going to be like in a section that's on the other side of the field. So I doubt that I will be, unless I'm walking past it. If I'm walking past it and it looks pretty decent, absolutely. That close-up shot looks like it's like beef from a plastic container. So I don't know.
I find it funny that they throw a fucking Polish sausage on there and they're like special food for the event. Like there's never been a fucking Polish sausage.
I know. Can you not get a Polish sausage at Wrigley just like at a regular Cubs game? I thought they had like hot dogs for a while and stuff like that.
Yeah. I thought you could get all the encased meats over there.
So Dougie, question: are you going out after you have any New Year's Eve plans? Then after the game?
No, we're just coming home.
Okay,
we're just gonna come.
Because I was curious if that's my thing was my kind of gripe with that doing it on New Year's Eve and is you got the game starting, so people are heading down there early. Games to it at what 3:30 games, so game ends around 6.
Yeah,
you might have people that are like just crashing out before their New Year's Eve plans, if depending on how much they drink and party and stuff. Because I imagine with those beers, you might see some people just like hitting each other over the head later with it, like slapdick style with those things. But I imagine there's people who are just going to get their plans wrecked, because
I think this is the plans. I think you can't make plans other than enjoy the hockey game.
Yeah,
and
that's
possibly,
too much.
And then possibly just like, stay in Wrigleyville for the night. I think that's probably you're crazy if you think you're going to go watch an outdoor hockey game and then still make it to like downtown or Naperville or whatever else.
Do your 4-hour open bar from.
I think hockey is the plan for most of those people.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that like it does stay true to its time and there isn't like a rain delay, because if you get the chaos of people coming in and people trying to leave Wrigleyville at the same time, that would be an absolute nightmare. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. The pregame down there actually starts at 10:30 in the morning. That's what
Jesus.
time.
Wow.
That's what time the fan fest starts on the outside of Wrigley. So.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, Dougie, you're rained out, or I mean, you get jerried, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But you get like, if there is long lines, maybe you just like pee in one of these things, and damn it, something's up with this slideshow.
Yeah, it could definitely. It would be nice if it wasn't so transparent. Like if I could, have a little bit of a, more of a frost on that thing, or maybe if it was colored in red or something to where it wasn't so damn obvious. But I mean, it's a perfect shape. So
there you go.
She said.
I think that honestly, with these things, I think it's just like how they wanted to do the plastic bats in Wrigley. They just didn't want like Praz out there in the outfield starting those the cup snakes during the game.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you might be able to partake in a couple of those.
Yeah. So.
All right, so Winter Classic. I'll be watching. I got nothing to do tomorrow. It is on TV, right? We are getting regular.
No, CHS.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah, am I gonna get CHSN tomorrow? I don't.
It's on NBC, I believe.
I'll be watching. Is it on
Channel
TV?
5?
Yeah. All right, so I will be watching, and hopefully, Dougie, you'll make TV again, because apparently everywhere you go, you get on TV.
Yeah, it happens.
Can we talk about that? Like that came out of nowhere. I probably should have had a slideshow for that. It's just you and Braggs like hanging out, and you're on Fox 32. The camera finds you, man.
Yeah, it was just it was random. It happened pretty organically. I was out there with Tina, and Tina was just like, "Hey, the news crew is going to be here in a little bit." She goes, "Stand and drink right where you're at." And I'm like, "No more said.
Say less."
Yeah, say less. Yeah, and then the one major dude that does all those tailgates over there, he's like, "I need somebody to do a shot with live on the air," and I'm like, "Gotcha, I gotcha," So. It was a good time. Man, if you want to talk about some tailgates, brother, man, I gotta talk to you guys about some ideas I got for off the air.
All right,
because of the Bears tailgates.
Yeah,
that's what we said when me and Jason went to the New England game. We hung out, in the Waldron deck and a couple other places, and we came out of that thing inspired. We're like, this is some serious stuff. We came out with ideas, and then we went into the game and got uninspired because, like, I don't think we had a reason to cheer for the rest of the 3 hours we were there.
Yeah, no, the tailgate I was at had a full bar.
I love that.
Love it. Yeah. All right. Before we get into Bears talk, we have to. We did it last week, but we have to bring it back again, back-to-back weeks. We got to bring back the tweet police because some of the. Something happened yesterday I may have went a little viral. First time.
A little is an understatement. I got into this tweet, and we'll get the main tweet up there because I didn't. To tell you the truth, Jay, I did not clip the whole entire thread because that would have been 40 slides long. So you start off like letting me know how the vibe was when you got the Cooper's Hawk and how this started. But if you want to read this tweet and then tell us, give us the story, we'll go from there. And then from there, I picked and choose the best tweets.
Yeah. So, but the tweet is for the listeners, not on the audio version. At Cooper's Hawk right now at the tasting bar, couple right next to us is a very obvious first date. Fascinating dialogue. Dude is talking about himself way too much, like 9 to 10 ratio. Girl seems very disinterested, has her purse on her shoulder and holding her coat. Dude is crashing and burning on the quick. Ask her about her interests. So we decided to go to Cooper's Hawk for dinner, and we're like, let's just do a tasting beforehand. We got in, we went to Downers Grove, and the tasting bar was packed. So it was like, oh fuck! Like, so we were standing around waiting, and we're sitting behind this couple, and like it's still quiet in there, so you could hear their conversation before, and you could tell right away they're on a first date. And I told Sarah, I was like, I guarantee you we're gonna get stuck right next to them the entire time. And she's like, oh, that would be so awesome, because she was like, she could hear like what some of that we're talking about too. And I didn't clip this about when I started doing the live tweet thing of it because I didn't know that they were gonna that we were actually gonna stand next to them. But the conversation that I was hearing originally before we got to the bar was he was talking about like Jesus and religion and how he's like helping out with this church, and there's this church that's consulting with this church and they need help, and we got to do. I was like, oh fuck it, like you better hope she's big in the church too, dude, because you're already killing yourself right there, like talking about like like church stuff, man. Like if she's not part of that lifestyle, man, like fucking big red flag. So anyways, like we as fate intended, we got stuck standing right next to them, and the conversation was they were talking about traveling. Like he was like talking about travel, and I was just like, all right, I gotta live tweet this out. So I'm gonna live tweet. I was like, and I'm gonna see where it goes, and it turned into some comic gold right there. So so first off, he was bragging about going to all these places in Europe to go, and she's obviously not a traveler, and she was just sitting there, like standing there listening. But he's talking about slamming beers in Munich and then all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, she does not care about this. Like, you girls do not care about you traveling around the world slamming beers at Oktoberfest. Like, it was bad, fucking badass, bad choice to like story. I think he was trying to impress her, but it came off like way douchey the way he was talking about it.
So when you fired off the first tweet, at what point did you realize I'm just gonna go Lord of the Rings on this thing and like just let everyone know every detail of it? Like, when did you realize like I'm in deep?
I realized it because like her body language was very like off-putting to where she had her purse on her shoulder. She had her coat. She was holding onto her coat, and they have the hooks at Cooper's Hawk, like at the tasting bar, so you can hang up your stuff. And not only was she holding on to everything, she was like a foot away from the bar too. Like, she just seemed like she had like 1 foot, behind the out the door. She had like 1 foot out the door. But when I realized I need to start doing this is when he was talking about all these places in Europe he was going, and then as soon as he said about him slamming beers in Munich, I was like, okay, now we're going full. We're going full into this. We're leaning into it.
Julie asked a good question. What was the age range here? Like, is this like an older couple?
I would probably say early to mid 30s.
Oh, okay. So they were all there. I mean, they've been dating at least, a while. This wasn't like a 21-year-old couple or anything like that.
No. This one, like I said, very obvious first date. But it was they apparently they should have had some dates before. All right, this one of them I fired off to was he was talking about he wants to get into bartending at home. Like, oh, I feel like I want to buy up all these bottles and just make drinks at home. But I feel like it's going to be way too expensive if I do that. And I was like, oh yeah, shit, I can relate to that. I feel you on that one.
I thought that was your in to put the phone down and start talking to these people, like almost like did somebody say home bartending? And it's like you just cut right in the middle of that Kramer style.
Yeah,
but did you have any interaction at all? Even like, excuse me, or can you pass the napkins or anything like that?
Nope. I was a conscientious objector.
Like, I had to like those safaris where you could look.
Yeah.
You can't.
I didn't want to disturb nature, because at one point he was talking about traveling all in Rome, and I thought like, well, if I was going to interject, I could have said like, well, that's where we went on our honeymoon. Also, at one point she went to the bathroom, and I was like, do I give this guy a halftime pep talk? Like, dude, you're not. It's not going well, man. Like, you got to change it up a little bit here. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I want to see if she actually comes back. She did, but I guess one of the weird things I put in that tweet too is they started talking about, like this machine, and I was like, I have no fucking idea what this machine are talking. And it turned out that it was an espresso machine that they were talking about, and then they found out they had the same one. They high-fived each other, and I was like, oh, that
could have been the win. What do you mean high five? You could high five. That's a good thing. Like, that could have been the spark.
That's friend zone, man. That's
not on a first date. That's the first thing you guys. When I say you guys, they relate to. Maybe that was, the commonality of like, oh, we want the same expression machines. Maybe that's the start of something. But you said no, it went the opposite direction.
I think that was more of like a forced high five as opposed to like, oh, we both got excited, and then. I could see like you high five if you go like axe throwing or fucking some fun activity like that. But when you high five about the same espresso machine, I feel like that's a little friend zoney.
See, I took it the other way. I was like, you know what? You guys can both wake up at either place and have the best cup of coffee.
Yeah, we both have the same ones. Yeah, that's a good point, Dougie.
That's some Riz right there, Dougie.
All right, before we get to the next one, we get this 499 super chat from Missy. I made sure none of my friends were on his date. I think she's tweeted out there, right? She made sure, was this anybody we know? And she's like, no, especially Cassie. She said, I wish someone would take me to Cooper's Hawk.
Tua. I also have to apologize to the intern, Erin. I got her in the crosshairs because she was talking about she was a vegetarian and now she eats meat. And I was just like, oh, yeah, I feel like her and Erin would be friends. And
then there goes her mentions, right? Because now she's in everything like this.
Yeah, so sorry about that. So yeah, but it was just very weird. She obviously wasn't a wine person because she didn't know that Pinot Noir was a red wine. I think she probably mistake it with Pinot Grigio. She was drinking water at one time, and like it just seemed like the dude like didn't scout this date out. He didn't ask her like, what are you into? What are you in for? Like, what do you like? Like, where would you like to go? I feel like more like, hey, it was more for him. Like, I'm a wine person. Let's go to Cooper's Hawk, do a tasting, but not knowing that she's not really into it. And I feel like that's a big miss, man. You got to like find out what she's into and take her to something mutual that's going to benefit both of you. Like, not just for your own personal self-satisfaction there. So,
well, maybe in now I'm playing devil's advocate in his defense. Like, if this is a first date and you don't really know the person, even if you ask them a couple, questions to try to hint at what she would be interested in, I feel like the wine tasting bar is an easy, first date option just because it's interactive. You're talking to the host. You can be talking to other people. So I feel like maybe he did mess up. Like, she didn't know anything about wine, but maybe they talked about it. We're like, oh, maybe I'm a wine novice. I want to learn more about wine. He's like, I got the perfect place for it.
Could be. And like I said, missing context, but it felt though that like she just wasn't into like drinking like the wine and like doing it. It felt like very out of place. Gotcha. But
Teresa's question is important.
He initiated it. He initiated it. It did pop, but she did not run immediately out afterwards. But it definitely seemed a little awkward at that. I didn't realize at the time that they were doing dinner, so it was like, oh man, I hope we get seated next to them because I want to see how this ends.
So that's where I feel like it was cool when it started at the tasting bar, and you were good, like what, 10 tweets in. And then it's like, I hope we get seated next to them at the restaurant. That's when, and I'll preface it by saying, I think 85% of the tweets in the replies and the quote tweets were positive, saying like, this is entertainment. This is so funny. I can relate. A bunch of other people. But the other people that were negative, and there's always negative people on Twitter, was saying, wow, this is very invasive or really creepy or really weird. Did at any point of this, did you start thinking like maybe I shouldn't crank it down a little, or you were just too deep into it?
I was too deep into it, man. I was too deep.
I swear I was waiting for the tweet, and they got in the same car. We are tailing them two cars back.
I'll be perfectly honest. I thought you were just talking to yourself the whole time because I said you were just tweet after tweet, and I wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, I wonder if he's just talking to himself or like, I don't know, but yeah. So you didn't see the rest of it, right? Obviously, you didn't see.
No.
You guys were separated once you were done with the whole wine.
Yeah, so there was one point where you could tell she wanted to leave because she asked him. She's like, "Oh, so it's like there a time you have to like be home, like, do you have to get up, right?" And then he's like, "No, I'm on vacation. What about you? You got to work tomorrow?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh yeah, what time you gotta get up?" And she's like, 7. Like she had to think about it for a second. So
Really?
like, yeah, she was trying to. I think she was trying to like be like, "Hey, do you have any place else to need to be right now?" Because she was like, "Okay, I'm already saying I have to get up early." She's already dropping that I have to get up early for work. And then like she wanted to pay for her own tasting when they closed. So obviously, like she was just like, "I don't want you spending any like money on me. Like let me pay for." And he was like, "No, I insist." Very genuinely of him, but you could tell she was just ready for it to be over. And I assume that the dinner was probably more of him talking about himself.
Oh yeah,
I did not take any pictures of the couple.
Good, because I think that's a good thing. So if anyone's listening or watching and you missed all of this, it is at the top of your Twitter page, so you could go and indulge in the, like I said, Tolkien-esque replies of it. But I just highlighted a couple of the replies and quote tweets because, like you mentioned, when did you realize it was going viral? Because I think there is like 2.9 million views on it.
I'm over 3 million views now,
and the bookmarks are crazy too.
Yeah, so
when
3 million views,
like, what the hell?
15.7 thousand likes, 1,500 bookmarks, 164 reposts, 84 quote tweets. It happened later at night when a guy with 14,000 followers quote tweeted it and said, "This is amazing" or something like that. And then that's when it fucking blew up.
Because when I first liked it, because I mean, I have notifications for everyone tweeting.
Yeah.
Like, the bombs. When I saw it, I think there was only like, 14 people liked it. And I was like one of them. And then the first person in our circle that like, I think quote tweeted or commented was Beefloaf. And then that was it. That's when I stopped checking. And then I checked again like a half hour later, and I was like, holy shit, this is something. But yeah, so these are some of the replies. This guy was a huge fan, and maybe now you have a spinoff to, maybe we have another project in the works for the YouTube or Twitter page. So this is please go out and eat one and do this once a week in a show format. You're onto something here. Play it like a sporting event.
I mean, if I knew where all the hot new date spots were, I'd probably try to do it again, but I feel like this is like one of those once in a lifetime, like just right place, right time kind of things. And
you can't recreate it.
Yeah.
If you try to do this again, everyone's going to see through it and like say like, "Oh, he's just trying to do this again."
So here's that creepy eavesdropper trying to spy on my date. Let's go stand over here.
In your defense and Sarah's defense, it sounded like Sarah was very much into this as well. Like you weren't ignoring Sarah on your date to be tweeting about this.
I mean, we didn't. So first off, So first off, I did ask her. I'm like, you think this is funny? And she gave me like the blessing to do it.
It's important.
But like, yeah, because like we were kind of both into it, but then like, you know, like we're trying to talk to the, you know, the tasting host, like the tasting, you know, host, whatever. I don't know the technical term for their
sommelier.
But you know, pouring the wines, talking which one we want to do. You know, we're talking a little bit, but like there was a couple next to us to the right, and I could feel like they probably assumed that we hated each other because we hardly talked that entire.
Sarah says,
Yeah,
she was ignoring me, but I was just okay with it. She's like, I've been with you all day. Go do your tweets.
Yeah, I'm wondering if somebody else was looking at you guys and be like, look at this guy.
That's
all
what
he's
we
doing
need.
is just on the phone.
We needed somebody tweeting about Jason tweeting.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
Like
you get the other side of the story.
Be like Inception type shit.
Yeah.
It's like the meme in church with the guns pointed at each one and then the snipers and the
Yeah.
everybody's watching.
So this is one of the one that like, you know, came at you early on in this, but I think you had a good reply to it. So he was like, man who tweeted another person's date while on a date is shaming the other man for his behavior on a date. And then your reply is, I'm married, buddy. This is exciting for the both of us. And I thought that was a perfect reply.
Yeah, I mean,
you guys
that's after the first
for a little bit, and then he apologized, and you're like,
yeah,
there
he
you go.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be the trolls, but I didn't think I was going to get tried to troll by George Bush, but George W.
And then this is the one I text you this, Jay. I saw this in the morning today, and I literally almost spit out my coffee. It says, this is wild. You could be anywhere living a normal life, and some dweeb goes on social media and gives a play-by-play of your life like it's Bob fucking Costas. And it's funny because you got this side of the story, but then the other guy's asking you to do the play-by-play every week as if you're Bob Costas. So it's like, yeah, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But the way he replied this, it made me laugh.
Yeah. I think it's like old school, like insults, like dweeb. Dude, I haven't heard dweeb in forever. You know, it's like when you hear those things. Yeah, like those certain little things pop.
Oh, I actually replied back to the guy and I said, I prefer the term nerd, but c'est la vie.
Gordo's in the comments says this sounds like a steak dinner bet between Beef and Josh. That would be amazing. Next time they go out on a date, have somebody, you know, in that circle live tweeting it as if that.
Yeah, we hire someone who they don't know, so they don't recognize that.
Right.
One of us is live tweeting their date.
But yeah, that was the one tweet police we wanted to do because I mean, obviously we had to talk about it.
Yeah, I did make an effort to like at one point go to the bathroom to see if they were still there where they were sitting. And when I went there, they were at a booth and he was all like talking adamantly with his hands and everything. And I was like, okay, it's probably not going well. And then when we left, they were already gone. So no, the end of the story, you have to write it yourself. You have to imagine the ending for them. Happened.
Fan fiction, write your own ending. Or like, choose your own adventure.
Yeah.
But I wanted it to be like, you know, like if you're out on the first date with someone, do not talk about yourself constantly, guys. It's okay to say some stuff, but ask questions about her, talk about her interests. Like dominating 90% of the conversation is never going to it's not going to get you a second date. And the funny thing is, I was telling Sarah this morning, like the thing that like sucked the most about that was watching him like crash and burn right like that. That was like, man, I've been there. I've done that. Like I've seen me do stuff like that where I try to hype a story to impress a date and stuff like that, or I may have talked about myself too much. And I learned from my mistakes, but it sucked because I was like, man, I've done that. And it was just like, I wish I could give you my advice, buddy, but I gotta stay neutral here.
The grizzled veteran. You're the old man at the end of the bench, like teaching the young whippersnappers the ins and out of the game. Yeah.
So I learned that. I learned a very long time ago. Don't talk about yourself.
Scalabrini. I was thinking like old man Bill Cartwright or Robert Parrish. That was
I like my answer better.
The Robert Parrish of Dayton.
Yeah. All right. That ends Tweet Police. But before we get into Burst Off, we got to pay a quick ad from our sponsor. The original Chickies Beef and Chickies Banquet is a proud sponsor of the BumCast. Are you trying to find a venue for a meeting or party? Allow Chickies to provide you with the at-home atmosphere without all the hassles and cleanup associated with hosting at your house. Chickies provides a blank slate for you and your party planner to work with. Customized menus are available upon request. Banquet Hall is located right next to Chickies Beef on Roosevelt Road in Hillside. They can host all types of events, including birthdays, showers, and even wedding receptions. Best of all, there is no rental fee. So call Brittany to plan your next event at 630-400-2876 and tell them the bum sent you. I absolutely love Julie's comment. It was like Christmas Carol for me in the past. Yeah, it was like the ghost of dating past. Like
this was me 10 years ago.
Fuck, man. I feel like I said, I almost gave him a halftime pep talk, but I couldn't. I was just like, at that point, I felt like it was already.
Take him to the bathroom, slap him with some water. Like, hey, man, you still in this?
You still got this, man. Come on.
See, I don't know.
About his interests.
Like me personally, I've been out of the game for so long, and the game has evolved so much. I'd probably be like Tony La Russa trying to talk to this kid. You know, like I don't know today's game. Sentence. Yeah, I don't know today's game.
Yeah, no, the game's passed us by, Dougie.
Yeah.
He asked her like what spots she'd like to travel, and she was like talking about like the Middle East, and then he just immediately pivoted to his own like, oh yeah, I know how you feel like. Vegas in the heat. I can't go to Vegas at all, like because it's summer. I was like, dude, lean into what she's saying. Don't pivot it back to you and your Vegas partying. Like, fuck. All right. Anyways, so Dougie, you were at the Bears game on Thursday. Probably arguably the worst football game of the year. That was horrible. Bears were bad. I'm not going to go into that game because there's not really bad what to talk about. We had to talk about a lot of news that came out afterwards, and it kind of set off, kind of started this morning. Peter, you want to pull up the tweet here? So according to Albert Breer, the McCaskies want Ryan Poles to hire the next head coach. Poles is set up to run point on the search, and I'm told it's because that's the way ownership wants. So there's a lot of rumors potentially going around. RIP Sears Tower account.
Yeah,
he said that Poles signed an extension. That he's coming back. So I don't know if this prohibits us getting Ben Johnson because Ben Johnson seems like he wants his hand-picked GM. But it sounds like as of right now, Poles is coming back despite all the fuckery, and he's potentially has signed a 4 to 5 year extension.
So, question: I do want to RIP and P Sears Tower account because that was a instant follow as soon as like I learned what he was doing, leaking stuff about the Bears, whether it's true or not. But yeah, I saw that he tweeted that like the Poles is in line for an extension and they want to be lockstep in their hierarchy, McCaskey, Warren, Poles, and then Poles picks their GM. And any other franchise, this all makes sense, right? We've asked for this type of hierarchy in the past. Like, let your GM pick the coach and go from there. Let your football minds pick the football coach. The problem with this is that the McCaskies are literally ass backwards, and they're doing everything ass backwards once again. They drafted their quarterback, then fired their coach, and now the possibility of, signing Poles or firing Poles. It's still up in the air. The one thing I read right before we got on, Jay, and I thought was interesting, it was, is there a possibility that the Bears front office or the brass is smart enough to run a canary trap and leak this fake Poles information to snuff out the leak and snuff out Sears Tower? Almost like a Game of Thrones situation.
Ooh.
Where you leak different information to different people and see which one gets out, and then who it is. Because as soon as that account got deactivated, then I was like, holy shit, they found out who the leak was. But did they find out who the leak was by giving misinformation? I thought that would be fascinating if the Bears have the brains to do that. I don't think they do.
You're assuming that George and Kevin are smart enough to actually pull off some clandestine operation like that, which I don't think they are. You got Nerd Boy running around dressed in stupid ass suits, like you said, Peter, shops at schoolhouse or school bells, yeah, whatever. Like I don't think he's that conniving to pull something out. Honestly, like that's something I would do. Like you give this reporter this tidbit, you get maybe this guy this bit, and then you see who's the leak, and then maybe that's why his account got suspended. Maybe you're right. Maybe they did fire him. They got him. They fired him, and or just said delete this account, whatever. But I don't think they're that smart.
I don't think they are either. But yeah, I mean, here they are. Like we've been begging them, to let a GM be a GM, and there are possibly letting him do it at the exact worst time, because now you are literally, possibly blowing Ben Johnson, not in a good way.
Ooh, I was gonna say, wait, what?
Yeah,
I mean, is that what it takes to sign him? Like,
hey, man, if that guarantees Ben Johnson coming here, Dougie,
yeah,
you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. But my whole thing is when I read that, and I was like, and if it is indeed true, it just leads me to believe that they're going Drabel then, because why would you ahead of this not give Ben Johnson the option, unless they're saying, hey, listen, you have all the other options, but GM is not one of them. And why would you do that to him? Now you're already limiting a guy that has options everywhere. So
they're gonna fuck this up.
Yeah, I
mean, we're wishful thinking, we're high hopes, we're typical Bears fans, thinking, for the best, being optimistic and all that. But they burn us every single time. Mm-hmm. If it's the McCaskies, if they're not the owners, then yes, I would have a little bit of hope. But the fact that it is the McCaskies that are running this, the fact that, whatever is happening behind the scenes, they keep polls or whatever, they're just going to fuck it up again. I have no optimism about this, because it just, like Peter, how you mentioned, they just are just damn backwards with everything. They don't see the big picture about this and do everything the right way and organize it correctly. That's why we continue being not in the playoffs. That's why we're the laughingstock of national media. I mean, everybody's been making fun of us. I mean, it sucks. And, for me being a Bears fan, I mean, it's kind of like, all right, well, I guess you want to laugh with them, it's because at this point, what else are you going to do? You can't be pissed off about it. They are an embarrassment. But I just think with the McCaskies just still running the place, just the asylum, if you want to call it, I just don't think that that we're going to get the guy. Like, we're high hopes for Ben Johnson. I don't think we're going to get him, because we're just doing everything just like ass backwards here.
Yeah, you're right. Because what if this is the case, right, where they did extend him and then they interview Ben Johnson, he says, well, I want to bring the assistant GM from Detroit over, or he wants to bring this guy over. Are they just going to all of a sudden just fire polls and, eat that money for 4 or 5 years? That's not the Bears way. It's not the Caskies MO. That's Jerry doesn't do it. The Caskies don't do it. That's why they didn't want to let Loose fired last season. I can guarantee you, even if, they did have the beef between Harbaugh and, Kevin Warren, that if Pohl said, I'm firing Eberflus, I guarantee you McCaskey's no, we're not eating 3 years of dead money. It's the way that they operate. You said it's backwards. It's asinine. We're probably going to get someone like what we mentioned when we did the coaching segment, our coaching wish list. We also have Ben Johnson's 1-1-1A, but if he says I'm on board, he wants player personnel control, and he wants to be the GM and do that, and the GM is just a guy who goes and gets the transactions done, and he's that guy. Fine, do it. Do something different, because we said, everything they've been doing fucking up and for the past 40 fucking years has been wrong. Do the opposite. Maybe the opposite is going to actually work. It's the George Costanza effect, but they're too dumb to figure out that everything they've done is wrong. And I was listening to Watto and Sylvie today, and Sylvie was playing a clip from 10 years ago after they fired Tressman and George was saying how pissed off Virginia is and things are going to change and we're not going to stand for this anymore. And nothing has changed in the past 10 fucking years.
They haven't won a playoff game since then.
No, exactly. So all this talk that you did after you fired Trestman, which was one of the worst fucking seasons in Bears history, and maybe we can make an argument this season's worse, you know,
I would argue
than
yes.
the second year of Trestman. But like, if nothing has changed in that 10 years and you're still thinking what you're going to be doing is right, just don't do it then. Don't fucking do it. Just do the exact opposite. Give Ben Johnson the bag. Who cares how much money you have to eat? Don't extend polls until you find out for sure that that's what Ben Johnson is. If Ben Johnson says, hey, I don't care if Ryan Poles is the GM, just line up our contracts. Boom, fine, good. Mm-hmm. As long as Ben Johnson has decisions in the people that being drafted, because he can't scout or draft offensive linemen. He can't scout or draft wide receivers. He did get a couple defensive back guys, and I will say that he, did pretty well with renegotiating throwing out contracts that, unlike Ryan Pace,
salary cap wise, he's in a great spot.
Unlike Ryan Pace, where we were in salary cap hell, he's done a very good job of getting rid of those bad deals off the books and making sure we're set up for some success, financial stability, and flexibility. But when you can't. You're going into year 3 of your tenure, and you cannot you don't have any. You have maybe one good offensive lineman, and then everyone else you signed, traded, or drafted has been a bust. When you drafted Tyler Scott, Velus Jones, those guys fucking are busts. I don't know what else to say about what can you do well besides maybe you should just be the contract guy then. Maybe you just take a step back and negotiate the deals. But obviously, you can't scout and draft guys, or the people that you put into place to make those deals are fucking, just as bad as you are. Because we all saw the video that Ian Cunningham had to stop him from trading up to get Roma Dunze, and almost blew more draft picks for that, which people are saying he had scouted higher than Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors looks like the fucking next stud behind Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. Now, granted, he's the only guy that Daniel Jones and Drew Lock were throwing to, but still, the fact that he had Odunze ranked higher than Neighbors, I'm starting to questioning his scouting and his draftability. Yeah,
I'm interested, and this is something I want to do. So maybe I don't know if it's next week or in the next couple weeks. I definitely want to do a pros and cons list about Ryan Poles. Because
I said that too. The trial of Ryan Poles.
As bad as it's been, there is some very good things that we haven't seen in the history of the Chicago Bears GMs, right? We're always, going back, a decade plus, salary cap hell, the lack of draft picks. While, this year they're in good shape, both salary cap and draft picks. But yeah, the overarching theme is one. The hiring and non-firing of Matt Eberflus is, predominantly 1-1, where he was his biggest mistake. And the other is the non-development of the offensive and defensive lines. So there's good things and bad things to Ryan Poles. There was a report earlier today that, and this is more the national reporters aren't ingrained, day to day with the Bears, but it did sound like Ben Johnson was willing to work with Ryan Poles. He just wants to know that the hierarchy and the buck stops with Ryan Poles. And my guess is he doesn't want the ownership meddling. That's what he wants assurances on. I think it'd be tough to ask. And, we've been talking about the genius of Ben Johnson and how smart he is and how he's waited for his turn for the right spot. And he denied, people interviews last year and everything like that. But if he's asking for player personnel power, that's a tough ask for a rookie head coach. You're going to be busy dealing with the day-to-day of the head coach. Now, you could still be lockstep with your GM. And I think that's still possible with Ryan Poles. I think he's earned at least enough goodwill, just a sliver of goodwill, where if Ben Johnson says, hey, I'm okay with Ryan Poles as long as, we have the same vision and we have like the same game plan going forward. I think this could all work. But it all depends on Kevin Warren and the McCaskies taking their hands off the wheel. And that's what I'm not sure is going to happen, because as much as Kevin Warren says that it's Ryan Poles' job, that last interview, that press conference they did, Ryan Poles looked like a scared kid in trouble. And all of the things Kevin Warren was saying was like he wants to be the big swinging dick. And that's a problem, because he's always said he's not a football guy. He's the business guy. He was brought in to, worry about the stadium and worrying about the luxury suites and the stools and everything else. Let Ryan Poles do his job. The problem with it is that, like, now we've got 2.5 years of Ryan Poles maybe doesn't know how to do his job. So I don't know, man. We're in a tough position. I still think it's Ben Johnson or bust. But there was another report out there that, like, both Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles has a history with Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator for the Vikings. While a good defensive coordinator, I think that would be the exact wrong move for the Chicago Bears at this moment with Caleb Williams. And that scares me, because, you got, two guys that have a history with this guy, and they're going to be like, well, if Ben Johnson doesn't want to come here or he's asking for too much, let's just go with Brian Flores.
Yeah. I also like Luke's comment too about Neighbors. Who knows what Neighbors would have been doing with the Bears? Look at Rome. Rome's been wide open a lot of the time. The ball ain't getting to him. It's hard to say like that we missed the guy and picked the wrong guy when like our system is broken. Like everybody's always saying, hey, we missed on Jalen Daniels. I don't think Jalen Daniels has half a season that he has with our offensive line. You flip-flop those guys, and you got Caleb or whatever over there in Washington. I bet you Caleb has a much better season than Daniels did in Washington.
100%.
Yeah, it's all, but at the end of the day, it's it's all about coaching. It's all about the organization. You see a lot of these players that were in failed organizations that are now doing better on playoff teams. If Jaden Daniels was with the Bears, if Neighbors was with the Bears, if Mahomes was with the Bears, that was always the same thing. Mahomes. What a shoulda, coulda type of thing. But they're not going to strive in that organization the way that they're striving in the organization right now. Right. It's just, again, this all leads up to the organization. Peter, you were talking about Kevin Warren being a business guy and wanting to kind of control that. He can't even get the fucking stadium thing going here. You know what I'm saying? Right. What makes you think I want him to lead the fucking Bears? You know what I'm saying? Like, he already has enough on his plate trying to figure out whether or not Arlington Heights and Chicago are going to be, where they're going to put the stadium at. But I just think that it is, getting back to it, it's just ass backwards, and they're going to fuck it up. I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible here. I'm trying to have hope, but with the McCaskies being in the background, luring like the fucking Addams family, I just think that it's just going to be a disaster again. I think they're just going to get this hire wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm absolutely wrong, but I just think they're going to fuck it up.
You would think at this point, and it's been, 10 years of George McCaskey running the ship and everything else. You would think at this point they would even like fail ass backwards into the right coaching hire, or at least like something of a success story. But it's been nothing, draft picks, quarterbacks, free agent signings, head coach signings. Everything has been an unmitigated disaster. So yeah, like you mentioned, I don't have faith that they're going to get it right, but I can just hope. All I have right now is me and my dumb brain putting all my eggs into the Ben Johnson basket, because maybe he sees at least a little bit of what us as Bears fans see, that like the roster isn't bad, the draft picks are good. They got what we thought last season was, going into this season was a generational quarterback. And I still think, like you mentioned, I've seen a lot of Bo Nix. I've seen a lot of Jaden Daniels. I've seen a lot of these rookie quarterbacks, and we don't know what Caleb Williams would be with a good line and a good system. I mean, I feel like anyone would have been broken here, just like Mitch Trubisky, just like Justin Fields, just like everyone else that comes here is broken. So I'm not willing to put any of it on Caleb Williams, except for like, you know, the developmental things that we see, you know, the overthrows and the keeping the ball for too
Holding
long.
on to the ball, yeah.
Yeah, but those things are, at this point, you could still coach them out of it, or you could still, you know, work on your footwork and everything like that. He mentioned in an interview this week that all of this upcoming season, he's going to work on footwork. That's going to go a long way. I think he's still there. He's still there. He's the only one out of all these veterans and all these, like, you know, Jalen Johnson and Montez Sweat and every other veteran. He still gives a damn. You could see it on the field. Like whether you want
he was pissed on Thursday.
Whether you want to talk about body language and you know, like how he looks on the sidelines and pouting and this and that, when the ball gets snapped, he gives a fuck. And we can't say the same about a lot of these veterans or a lot of these Chicago Bears players. So yeah. I'm all in. I'm still all in on Caleb Williams, but man, am I just wishing for Ben Johnson.
Yeah. So right now the Bears have the 8th pick going into the last game of the season. We'll see. Obviously, I think they'll probably lose against Green Bay, and we'll see how the other teams. Man, the Giants were fucking stupid for winning that game yesterday.
That was crazy. You know what's crazy is like all these teams, the NFL, as much as we love the NFL, and I love any game, you know, people are complaining about the games on Saturday and Wednesday for Christmas and all that. Like, if you give me a game, I'm going to end up watching it. But the fact that the Bears are on a 10-game losing streak and they are drafting, what'd you say, 8th? I thought it was 9th. Yeah. But it was like they're drafting. They're not even in the top 5. They're not even in the top 5. There's so many bad teams in the NFL right now. The good teams are really good, and then the bottom is so bad that it's like, how are you not the Bears not drafting like top 5 right now? And all these teams ahead of us in the draft order, they don't play each other. So there's a possibility they all lose again and we stay at 8. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, we could get up if everything aligns. We can't get up to is I think up to 4.
4. That's what I saw.
But I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. So we'll have a little more Bears talk next week. Obviously it's the last game of the season. When we said maybe we'll talk some do the trial of Ryan Poles, or maybe we'll talk early mock draft. We don't know yet, but
the mock drafts is a good idea once we know what position they're drafting in.
Yeah, exactly. All right. That wraps up our Bears talk. We got to pay our quick bill from us first. Big Cartel is the official home of Chicago Sports Bums merch. Help support your favorite podcast by buying a couple of 2-3 shirts. We got socks, Bears, Hawks, and Bum branded threads. And all of our shirts are unisex sizes. Remember, all the proceeds go back directly into our Whiskey at Comiskey tailgates that keeps them free for everyone. And keep an eye out for new shirts coming very soon. So visit shysportsbums.bigcartel.com today. All right, real quick, I just want to get this comment from Sam Reeves. Bears might draft lower than the Panthers. That would just crush my soul if like the Panthers have like a better draft pick than, when I say like lower draft pick than the Bears do after all that shit that we put them through.
Credit to Bryce Young. Bryce Young looks like he could possibly be a guy. Yeah. And the funny thing is, like last year when he looked, I went to the game, the Bears versus the Panthers game. Bryce Young looked like a deer in headlights. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. You know what was the overarching theme that ties everything together? Thomas Brown being on the Panthers last year, and now he's on the Bears with Caleb Williams. So it's like, yeah, we thought, you know, and we had the comment. CD44 says, "Turns out Thomas Brown isn't a great leader of men." Bummer. Yeah, he had his grubby hands on Bryce Young last year. It's like, fuck.
All right. God damn it. All right. So tomorrow is New Year's Eve. So that means it's time for us to bring back our New Year's resolutions. So we're going to give you one sports resolution, we're going to give you one bum resolution, and we're going to give you one personal resolution. So with that, Johnny, why don't you start us off? What do you got for your 2025 resolutions?
All right. Well, I did write this down over here. Give me a second. All right. So my sports resolution is I know the Blackhawks are bad. I totally get that, but I still love the Blackhawks at heart, and I want to go to more games. You know, it's probably one of the best sporting events to go to in Chicago. I love hockey. Yes, they're terrible right now, but so what? Every time you go, it's a great time. Obviously, Dougie and Joey go every single time here when they go to games, and it's always fun. So I definitely want to go to more Blackhawks games for sure. My bums resolution: more shirt designs coming out.
Hell yeah.
More ideas. My ideas are flowing. But I got to say this is that I have to have that control. I have to have that creative control of trying to I have a vision going into 2025, and I got a lot of good ideas coming up. So that's mine for the bums here. And then my one other one is I got to go back to the gym. I haven't gone to the gym in over the past like 3 months, and I've kind of gained weight. I've been eating like shit. I need to go back. I need to go and get back on track and shed the pounds. So yeah, I just need to go back to the gym. So I used to go. Obviously, you guys know I used to go religiously. I used to go like almost every single day, and I just kind of scaled back. So it's time for me to go back. So that's mine.
All right, good stuff, Johnny. Dougie, what's yours?
All right, for sports, I'm going to really pump the brakes on my expectations with my teams.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Yeah,
smart.
I feel like the beginning of every season, not this last beginning of the White Sox season, but the Blackhawks, I thought that they would be a little bit better this year, taking a little bit step forward from last year. They're still the worst team in the league, playing tougher and better, as I was saying, and I wanted them to be, but they're still losing a ton of games. But I'm going to taper my expectations. I am going to stop with this hype until these teams that we love actually start proving it. Until they start loving us, I need to slow down on loving them. So I'm going to slow down a little bit on stuff like that. I'm still going to go to games. I'm still going to root them on, but I'm going to take everything one pitch, one pass, one shot at a time.
I like that.
What was that quote, Dougie? I feel that's a good T-shirt.
One pitch, one pitch.
No, the other about loving you.
Oh, I don't know. I'm drunk. No, I think I said
rewind it.
I have no idea. It was something. Yeah, it was pretty inspirational.
Clip it later.
Yeah,
it was wise. It was wise beyond your years, Dougie.
Yeah, wise beyond my beers. So bums. It's actually, this inspiration actually comes from Jason from last night. We need to get a viral tweet out on the Bums account. We need to make it the 4 of us goal to do something to pop and go off and everything like that. Because I feel I feel like every time like one of our tweets goes viral, it's not underneath our account, and our account isn't tagged in it. It isn't anything like that, and it's all that shit just goes to pretty much waste because it's a one-time funny shot. Whereas maybe they would think if it's coming from the show, they would tune in, subscribe, and all that other shit. So I would love to see that as kind of like a sub B type thing. I want to get back more into the sports stuff, and I know that we're talking about it. Got to get that bowling challenge done. And a couple of those other challenges, because every time we have those challenges, we all have a blast. The field goal thing was a blast. The shooting thing was a blast. Everything was fun. So I feel like not only is it a good break for us, but it's good content as well. So I like
that. Write that down. We definitely got to do that.
Yeah.
My personal resolution is I really got to pass this water license test.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just got my test results back about a week ago, and I failed by 1.
Oh,
son of a gun!
So I missed it by.
But you said that was the passing bar was like super high, right? So you had to.
Yeah.
It was like 80, like passing was like 87% or something like that, or
85%. 85%. So I got I think it was like 84.5%. So I literally missed it by one question.
Wow.
So I got to get that done. Next crack at it is in March. So I'm going to go ahead and get back at that and get that going. And then other thing that I want to do with 2025 is I want to learn Spanish.
Oh, hell yeah. I can help with that.
Yeah.
Little resistance.
Muy bien.
Yeah. We do a little Duolingo.
Yeah. I just for me, it's like I suck at English. So maybe I'll be better at Spanish.
Me fail English?
That's impossible.
Just go on to the next language.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Joey P and Sandy. That'll help too.
Yeah. So
maybe just
go
down to Mexico and live there for a year, and then you'll just learn naturally.
Or just be
we should do a whole bums show in Spanish.
I'm okay with that.
I busted that Spanish.
No, you know what? We'll save that for the happy hour. I think that's a good compromise. Maybe leave the BumCast to the actual, actual
más o menos.
But we can do an all Spanish happy hour. That'd be fun. I don't know how much the viewership would go, but who cares? Like, sorry, Jack's Place. We'll owe you one in the future, Jack's Place. We love you, but
Can we get the subtitles
you know what?
or something?
All Spanish happy hour. I'm writing it down. We're gonna do that.
Nice. All right, Peter, what do you got?
All right. This is gonna sound fairly familiar, and I know Gordo is typically in the comments. I haven't seen him today, but he gave me shit because he remembers. Gordo stirs the pot. Shout out Gordo.
Mm-hmm.
He remembered our resolutions from last year, and he said I didn't do not one goddamn single one of them.
Ooh.
So I'm running them back. Same resolutions from our podcast 1 year ago. I'm doing them again. So last year I said, you guys know me. My first love is soccer. I mean, I love the Bears, but soccer is my first passion. And I said I haven't gone to any Fire games since they moved to Soldier Field. They used to be right down the street in Toyota Park, and I used to go there. I didn't go to any games this year. I watched a lot of games. I still watch most of the Fire games. I did not go to any Fire games last year, so I'm going to go. I'm going to go to more Fire games this year. I promise. At least one, maybe two. You could book that and write that on the agenda. That is my goal, is to go to more Chicago Fire games this year. My bum one, I am switching a little bit because I had the tweet out there earlier, and I think it's good for business and it's good for all of us in particular. We pick on Jason heavy, and rightfully so. I think a lot of it is because you bring it upon yourself. I'm picking less on Jason, and I'm picking more on Johnny and Dougie this year. Dougie, at this point, we had the tweet yesterday. You've been with the Bums for close to 2 years, if not more, right? You said March of 2023 was when, we got signed Dougie and we got designated the Bum Cartel by Taco Gladiator. So I think the warming and getting to know you phase, I think we could just bust balls now. So now I feel comfortable fucking with Dougie a lot more. And my favorite thing is, and I don't know if you notice it, Johnny, I kind of like getting Johnny mad on the podcast. I think that's fun. When Johnny gets mad and says fuck you to me in particular, I think it's good television. I enjoy it. So I'm sorry, my man. We've known each other for a long time. I think you could take it. I'm gonna mess with Johnny more.
Are you sure you want to go there, route?
I mean, at least for 2025. If not, I'll change it for 2026. We'll adjust it. But yeah, it'll be good. I think it'll be good for everyone. And then my personal one is the same thing. Gordo told me, he's like, hey man, didn't you say you wanted to run the marathon last year? And I said, yes, I did. And I absolutely did not run not only a marathon, I didn't run at all. I think I ran once last year. And I told him, one, my knees are bad. 2 surgeries, a lot. I mean, Indianapolis, I could barely walk. You guys know how bad my knees are.
Yeah, it was bad.
But the marathon is different because last year I signed up and it's a lottery. You can say you could want to run a marathon, but if you don't get picked, you're done. Like you just can't run it, I got picked this year. So I mean, I didn't tell anybody. I'm in. I signed up. I got the note. I mean, I'm in the Chicago Marathon this year. I'm going to have to run it. Whether it's run, walk it, I don't know how it's going to work, but the wheels are in motion. There's a plan in place. So shout out to, you guys know Christy and Billy. They're, part of a run club. They're my, brother-in-law and sister. I think we're going to do it. I think I have to do it. And originally I said, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to do it and not tell anybody. But I realized, I think the more people know, the more it'll really get me motivated to be like, I can't let these people down because I'm going to look like a flake. Last year, I could have just said it was easy for me to make the excuse that I didn't get signed up. And I don't want to run any other marathon but the Chicago Marathon. That's the one I want to run. That's the one our family has run for years and everything else. So I think I'm going to do it. I don't know how it's going to go, but wish me luck.
Oh, we'll be there. Me and Jason are going to be out there holding up signs, don't shit your pants and all that stuff. So we'll be out there.
I think it'll be fun.
I won't be there. I'll be sleeping, watching.
I'll FaceTime you or something.
That's fine.
So Spags is saying no excuse, Pete. Run the Shamrock Shuffle in March with me. That's part of the plan. I think I'm literally starting from nothing. So I'm doing Couch to 5K. I'm going to do the Shamrock Shuffle. I'm going to build up to a 10K. I've ran a half marathon before. I think I could get back to that. Obviously, the main part is I have to lose a lot of weight, not a little weight, but a lot of weight. But in the process of doing that, the weight will fall off. I'm not worried about that. I'm just focused on getting going. I think the first 3 months are imperative from now until March. Once the weather turns, I like running. I like, putting my headphones in and going for a jog during the 108 weight loss. That was just a main part of it. It's almost like, Zen for me. It's just, I haven't fucking done it in 3 years.
All right, let's get to mine. But first, Kieran says White Sox suck. Yeah.
No, 100% agree.
He's not wrong.
No one's gonna argue with that, my man.
No, if you turn into some of our episodes in July, August, just a lot of hatred for that team. So, all right, my 3 resolutions. I actually got a couple. I got one extra one too, but my sports ones is I think Dougie, it's kind of like what you said, piggybacking, but I'm not gonna get hyped for moves or signings or the coach speak anymore. I don't want any of that more. I don't want the hits principle. I don't want we're taking the North and never giving it back. I'm not running through a brick wall for that shit anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, you know what? Prove it to me first. Show me that you're fucking an actual competent person running the team, playing for the team, participating, whatever. I'm not getting hyped for that shit anymore. It's done. So that's my sports one. I got two bum ones. My first bum one is I am determined in 2025 to get us into the gated area in Lot B for tailgates.
Ooh, I like that one. That one will be fun. That one is a good goal to have, and it benefits everyone, not just us four, but everyone watching, everyone that comes to the tailgates. I think that's awesome. I think that's a great plan.
Private porta potty too.
Yeah, the porta potty
in there. So there's a private porta potty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work those corporate sponsors, and I'm gonna try to get something, at least one. That's my goal, is to get one. But my ultimate goal is to have the Lot B tailgates in that confined area. So
the corral.
We don't have to deal with the fucking parking lot Nazis anymore.
That'd be awesome. I like that.
My bum ones. I just gave you the one. My second bum one is 2025. I want to drink more on the podcast. I don't drink a lot on Mondays, mostly because of work. So I'm gonna start a resolution right now. I got some G4 and Neho here, and I figured what better way to start. But yeah, I always just drink water and I stay sober, and I feel like sometimes I'm not at my best. So
you want to get drunk?
You know what? We're gonna join you, and you know what we can do, Jason. I love this. I love this for you. I'm happy for you, Johnny. Go get a drink. We'll take our time here. Not only we will cheer you for your new resolution, but I just lost the cork. It's an easy birthday shot for our man Joey P.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't have a glass, so I'm going bottle to mouth.
Are you gonna be chugging Stag straight? Is that Stag? Oh my boy.
I like that.
All right. Why we wait for Johnny?
Yeah,
to
give
get
us your last one.
I'll give you my personal resolution. It's something I have to work on really throughout the year, and that is to stop forgetting a towel when I go to shower.
Wait, hold on. How are you not like? Do you just not have towels in like a closet in your bathroom?
I do, but I forget to grab it from the other side of the bathroom, and then I have to. Then I either like text or yell at Sarah, "Can you go grab me a towel?" And she gets annoyed with me for doing it because I don't want to run across the bathroom cold, naked and wet. I like my towel right there. So my New Year's resolution.
Actual problem. Yeah, you don't do it like a towel rack.
We have one. I sometimes forget to grab the towel from the closet.
You need more, dude. Hold on. We're adults. You of all people, and we talk about this rightfully so. You're a grown adult with dual income and no kids. You have the fuck you money. You could have more than one towel. Have one hanging and then bring another one. So there's always a rotation. There's no reason you're using one towel. Sometimes I bring 4 towels, like just because. One for my hair, one for my body, one around my waist. Like you could have more than one towel.
I mean, that's a good point. But yeah, there's times where I forget to grab the towel, and you turn the water off, it gets cold immediately, right? And then you open the shower door, and it's cold. It gets even more cold, and then you have to run across to go to the towel closet. It's more than 3 steps. She's exaggerating. It's not 3 steps. It's like 7 steps, maybe 6. I don't want to run across naked, wet, and potentially slip on the tile, and then I fall and break my neck, and that's not good for anyone. So I figure it's just easier for her to ask can you hand me a towel, and even if she's in the next room, she still says, "What the fuck?"
Next time this happens, Sarah, just throw them a roll of Bounty, and then you have to dry off with the paper towels because that's what you do.
Quicker, picker.
How is this call made? Are you just screaming in the shower, or
it's either a text message or if I know she's upstairs, I'll be like, "Baby," she knows immediately what happened.
All right, so this is a good like you with your towel situation, and I'll ask you guys because Julie has been wanting me to be a robe guy. So you guys know me, Dougie. Maybe you're in the same situation. When I come home from work, there's sometimes if we're doing excavating or we're doing patio or like any type of retaining wall, you come home dirty as hell, and boots, jeans, but even like yourself is just dirty. So Julie wants me to start taking my clothes off either in the garage or in the basement. She set up a really nice like station with all my work clothes, so where I could just like, but I mean, we got kids. Sometimes we got visitors. Like, I don't want to just walk up the stairs to the upstairs shower naked. So she's like, get a nice robe, and you just carry the robe up and then come down in the morning with it. I've never been a robe guy, and it's like I'm not Hugh Hefner. This isn't like a silk robe. We need like a towel like robe. Are you guys robe guys at all? Like anyone
No.
give me a specific? No, I'm not.
No.
All right, never mind.
No, I don't think so. Sorry.
Maybe
Yeah.
group resolution. We all be robe guys for a year.
I'm not being a robe guy.
Yeah, might as well take.
You got no
that to-
towels. You might as well be a
too.
robe guy. What do you mean?
It's a good point. I really have no argument. I keep forgetting my towels, so I might as well.
Yeah,
have a robe.
you're asking him for a robe.
Yeah, maybe I should be a robe guy. Maybe I should.
I'm saying, just think about it. Leave. You just think about it next week. Maybe we expense some robes for the 4 bums.
All right, we all got drinks now, so this
All
is
right,
my New Year's resolution: drinking more in the pot, but also to Joey P. Happy birthday, Hermano.
Yes.
Realistically, it's more for Joey.
Joey P.
Happy birthday.
That's good stuff.
Whew.
All right, that ends our New Year's resolutions, and with that, it's time to end the show by bumming some people.
I think he's a bum. I think he's an absolute bum.
You call me a bum? My man, I take that with pride, with honor, that I'm a bum. I'm the king of the bums, baby.
Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that? Bum. A bum.
Bum. All right, let's get to our listener bums and MVBs. First up is Gordo, MVB, my wife. Congrats on a great season. Yeah, she is officially going to claim the Bums Fantasy Football Championship. She has 1 quarter left, and she's up by 50 points. So,
wow,
seems pretty much in the bag on there. MVB, the birthday boy, Joey P. Yes, we all agree he is our MVB for the week.
Maybe for the month.
Okay. Maybe we need some bum robes. We need some bum robe merch.
I think the comment section is interested in some robes. I think we all become robe people next year. I like this.
Okay.
Shout out Julie. Good idea.
We can't get any hoodies going on. What makes you think we're gonna get robes?
That's a true. The hoodies are expensive. It's not our fault. Blame Printful. Bum of the week, Printful.
And then, as always, quick reminder: we have a donation set up for our friend Gordo, who's having quadruple bypass surgery in January, so very, very near future. So anything you guys can help, there's a Venmo on the screen. Otherwise, you can DM us for his Zelle information. We'll send it over. So thank you to everyone who's donated, and there's still time because it is coming up very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Bum of the week for the last few weeks. This is from my wife. My fantasy football opponents for talking shit to everyone but me. I mean, I guess they disrespect my wife, so whatever. Bum MVB, me for winning, asterisk, but she sent this in earlier. The whole thing, first time, and I'm the champ. I hereby announce my retirement. She's 1 and done.
Oh,
I like that.
You heard it here first.
That's kind of a flex. Is like first year ever playing fantasy football, win the championship, and then I'm out. Retirement.
I played. Yeah, she could get that like engraved on her tombstone. 1-time fantasy football champion. First time playing, first time.
I don't know why tombstone. I thought
Band
maybe just engrave a trophy.
Well, aren't tombstones just trophies of your life?
That's a good point, Dougie. That is a great point.
That's a very good one.
Getting deep.
Missy VB medicine ball from Starbucks.
I don't know what that means. Johnny, do you have any?
Yeah, it's supposed to help like your cough and stuff like that.
Like immune, like an immune drink.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know they had those.
Starbucks is big pharma now. What the fuck?
No, it's the first time I tried it today. It's actually pretty good.
Can I have 7 pumps of medicine ball, please?
So you're gonna get the Starbucks cup, and it's gonna be like sponsored by Pfizer.
It's gonna have a cross.
It's just tea, guys. It's just tea. It's just tea.
She's saying it's just tea. I don't fucking.
Damn, I got excited.
Yeah. Bum Lion King, not a fun movie whatsoever. Watching it with the nephew, cried so much. Aladdin better. Yeah, all the old Disney movies.
They're all dark. They're all dark.
Yeah.
Now that we have kids and they get into the Disney movies. Disney Plus has them all. They are dark. Do you guys have a favorite Disney movie?
Lion King's pretty up there for me.
Lion King is up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would say Lion King.
I'm a Winnie the Pooh guy. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, but he was a Disney.
Yeah, it's a Disney. It was Disney.
Nobody owns him anymore. Do you realize that?
Yeah, he's public domain. We should make a Winnie the Pooh shirt. Johnny, you said you want to make more shirts. Pooh shirt.
Anybody in the comments want a bum Pooh shirt?
What do you guys?
Let me know.
What is your answer? Jungle Book.
I guess I would go Beauty and the Beast.
Lame.
I don't know, dude. I always thought of myself as ugly, so I was like that'd be a good chance for me.
You're very handsome, Dougie.
Dude, you're on TV every single time.
Yeah, you're on TV all the time. What are you talking about, ugly? The camera finds you, baby.
Yeah. I meant back then.
Your money, baby.
This is gonna sound fucked up, so I apologize. But we just took a shot, and now my brain's thinking. Johnny, if you do go back to the gym, Johnny would be a good Gaston, and then Dougie would be the good side character, whatever his best friend is. That'd be a good costume. I'll play the Beast. Jason, you could be the teacup or the chandelier, the candelabra thing.
No, I'll be the chandelier guy. I'll be
yeah. We're gonna be Beauty and the Beast for your next Halloween costume or your Halloween party.
I'm doing what in the what now?
I like it. All right, next up. Rob, the 3D artist. MVB, there are two. One, my boy Saquon. He's been fantastic to watch all season. You guys are friends? That's cool. Get him on the pod.
Yeah.
Shut up, Alexa. MVB, me doing some covert op intel on what sounded like a horrible first date experience. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Good
No
job,
bum of the
Jason.
week, but I'm sure I'll run into a crazy person on my way to the movies. There's always crazies out there.
Jackie's in the comments saying Vino is the chandelier guy. Come on. That's a good call. Jason would be the clock.
Okay. I can see that.
Okay.
Next up, King S, bum of the week. Games only on the NFL Network on a Saturday. Yeah, I thought there would be more, maybe like a Fox or a CBS game, but yeah, I could see that. MVB, Drew Lock for going Goblin mode to cost the Giants the number 1 pick. I don't know what Goblin mode is.
I Urban Dictionaried it after he sent that tweet,
Okay.
and I still don't understand it.
Okay.
But we believe you.
That is funny that he cost him the number 1 pick. Like he's not even going to be on the team next year, probably.
I mean, they put up 40 points this week. This is crazy.
It's kind of cool how like every year there's somebody. Lovie Smith did it, like there's like
It always
somebody
happens.
that's constantly like screwing over a team that they won't be on next year. I love it.
Next up, Luke, MVB. Every single person involved in the Pop-Tart Bowl, another W for the greatest sport on the face of the earth. I think, yeah, you see like the mascot and the trophy and everything.
I said it. The Pop-Tart Bowl became the preeminent bowl game that everyone cares about and everyone watches. No other bowl game matters at this point. They should probably just stop playing because the Pop-Tart Bowl is the bowl. The sprinkles on the sideline, the aluminum foil on the goal post, the halftime entertainment, and all the other, the toaster trophy.
Dude,
Tremendous work.
The beginning of the game, the fucking montage for the Pop-Tart that got destroyed last year. I mean, that was hilarious. And in loving memory of Strawberry Pop-Tart. I mean, dude, that was just, it was attention to detail on every level. It was just amazing. I mean, and that is what every single brand should be doing. Pop-Tart's just doing it right. Every brand should be like, hey, doing something special. Make it about just like not throwing your name on a bowl game.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal. If you have not seen the beginning of that bowl game, amazing. All of a sudden, Strawberry Pop-Tart from the dead shows up on the
zombie
top of the
ass
scoreboard. Oh, dude. Amazing. Amazing.
They should have that as a national championship.
That's what I'm saying. They've earned it. Pop-Tart earned every second of it. It's your move now, Tostitos, you fucking bums.
Yeah.
And Luke's bum, whatever this flu sickness that's been passed around, it knocked out my in-laws for their extended family Christmas party this weekend. On Saturday we had my wife's family, extended family all over, and the in-laws couldn't make it. It's going around. Dougie, you said your wife got it. Yeah. Like, Johnny, you and Missy were sick. Like, fucking. I'm hoping this tequila keeps whatever is going around out of my throat. So
that's the way.
Drink whiskey.
High proof whiskey cures all.
Real quick before we move on next slide, everyone's in the comments talking about what character would be from Beauty and the Beast for a Halloween costume.
Yeah, that's still going.
If we somehow do this, we need to get everyone and sing the See My Vest. I'll sing the Mr. Burns version of the song.
You don't want to do the Be My Guest version?
No, you gotta do the Simpsons one so much better.
I mean, it is good. Maybe we do both. Once you're learning one choreography, you could translate it to the other thing. I think this is happening. This is a great New Year's resolution that we're doing Halloween costumes for October, but we're doing the Beauty and the Beast.
Jack, I didn't get it because I stay in my house like a god. Again, there's that term again. I don't know what it means.
Goblin mode.
Is it a positive? Is it a negative? What's the goblin? I don't know.
They're goblins.
All right, next one. Joey P, birthday boy, bum of the week, Rain. Stay away for the NHL Winter Classic. Yep, Dougie's up right on that one from earlier. MVB, my shot queen, and every awesome soul that wish me happy birthday. Yes.
Salute, Joey P.
Salute to you, Joe. Next up. Mailman Jack, MVB, this ginormous, delicious breakfast super sub I consumed today, coincidentally on Joey P's birthday. My punch card salutes everyone involved. I mean, Mailman Jack just frequenting the Tonys, they know him by name.
Still got to get there.
Yeah, we got to make it to that breakfast sub.
Bum of the week, Christmas cookie withdrawal. I need more sugar. That's what pixie sticks are for, my dude. Just take it.
Mainline them. Just
Yeah.
mainline the pixie sticks.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into our bums and MVBs. Johnny, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so my what a bum is Cam Newton. Cam Newton, I don't know if you guys saw I think it was a couple days ago. He said on Foul Territory that I'm sorry, not Foul Territory. He said that baseball is a dying sport and thinks the WNBA will surpass it in 20 years. I cannot take anybody seriously that looks and dresses the way that Cam Newton does. So I'm sorry. Great quarterback in the league. Like I said, I mean, he had a great to me, I felt like he had a great career in the NFL, but I disagree with him on the whole thing about baseball being boring. They're trying to change the ways of everything. And Julie, I'm just kidding. He always dresses. He dresses good. I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is that I just disagree with him as far as what his stance is on baseball. We talked about this actually on the happy hour the other day about how things are changing, how things are evolving. Basketball, the ratings are down. Maybe the WNBA is going to surpass the NBA. You don't know that. Like the way that things are going, like with the NBA, a lot of people are pissed off watching the games right now. So I just think baseball is a little bit more on the up. They got a lot of more star power. They're trying to change the game to make it a lot quicker. So I just think with baseball, I disagree with him on that part. I do agree with him that WNBA is on the rise. A lot of eyes on them right now. I think it's a definitely something to keep an eye on, that they deserve a more bigger deal as they go along. They got a star in Caitlin Clark and obviously the whole story between Clayton Clark and Reese is a good storyline. But I just disagree with him. And then my MVP, I think it's a consensus, but this is from my personal thing is Joey P. Obviously Joey P. Happy birthday. He's been a friend of ours. I've known him for well over 20 years now. So just the nicest guy that you will ever meet. He will do anything for you as well too. And like I said, he's just like how he says Hermano, he is definitely like one of my brothers, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
He's just we've always done so much with each other, either going out, drinking, clubbing, whatever. He's just awesome guy overall. So Joey P, happy birthday, buddy.
All right, Peter, you're up.
Yeah, so my MVB as well, and we could go around the room and say like how we feel about Joey P, because he is the best. He's the most genuine, down to earth, guy. I was lucky to meet because of Johnny and Jason and our buddy Wevel. But yeah, man, it's been awesome. I was lucky enough to be at Sandy and Joey's wedding, and through the ups and downs of everything of life, just life in general. Joey P's always the constant, man. He's just steady as a rock. I could get pissed off about something or anything, but Joey's always just neutral, and that goes a long way. Dougie, you come into the family and you guys go to games all the time. It's just like he's just there when you need him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's my MVP. My bum of the week is myself. And this is going to be bad, guys, because I told you guys pre-show. I know when it's Joey P's birthday. I know yesterday I text them. We're picking up pizzas from Vito and Nick. And I was like, this is last minute. I'm like, I'm going to be there, order the pizzas, bring it back to Julie and everybody. And I was like, I'll be there for like 20 minutes. If you guys can make it, have a old style with me. They make it. Of course they make it, right? Because that's what they do. Yeah. He tells me that he was hungover from the day before because he was celebrating his birthday with Useless and a bunch of other friends. I knew that. But for some reason, I thought his birthday was next week. I thought maybe they were celebrating his birthday a week earlier. So he comes out of his way to come hang out with me while my pizzas are ready. We get beers. I still don't wish him a happy birthday. It wasn't until today that I realized, like, fuck, Peter, what are you doing? Like, I knew it was his birthday. For some reason, I thought it was like January 6th. Don't make that joke either, because that's not the reason. For some reason, I thought it was like around the 5th and 6th. That's my brain. Many things going on. Hand up on me. I fucked up. Joey, I should have wished you happy birthday yesterday when I saw you in person and give you a birthday hug, but I was too busy worrying about the delicious pizza that I took home. Vito and Nick's my MVB. They're delicious.
What'd you get on it?
We ordered 2 because we ordered 1 for tonight, and then we got leftovers for the week. We got a sausage, just a plain sausage. And then Julie likes pepperoni, so I got Julie a pepperoni pizza.
Nice.
Very cool. Very good. All right, Dougie, you're up.
All right. Yeah, obviously, bouncing off of everybody else. Cheers to Joey P for his birthday. I cannot wait to celebrate with you tomorrow. And we're going to get that in, brother. Love you. My other MVB is going to be Tina for telling me about the Bears tailgate. She talked me into going to this Bears tailgate. It was one hell of a time. She was able to get me on Fox pregame for the Bears and everything like that. It was just an all-around amazing time. Ran into a lot of familiar faces out there. Spags was out there, and a bunch of other people too. So just an amazing time. So she is my MVB. I'm also going to be MVP in myself because at the beginning of this Bums Fantasy League, I told Giroux that I was going to lay the smackdown on him consistently. I even went ahead and I made my name the Fort Wayne Curb Stompers. And not only did I beat him once in the regular season, scored the top points, and he scored second top points. But as of right now, he's scoring 142 points right now, and I'm about to whoop that ass up 60 on his ass. So I just want to MVP myself or whatever because I did what I said I was going to do. Drew came into this league like a bat out of hell, and he's leaving with fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Attaboy, Dougie.
Could not beat the Bums.
He's usually in the comments. I don't think he's on here today, but
I'm sure he'll get it tomorrow and send me a message. But anyway, so my bum, it's kind of an all-encompassing bum. It's Levy Foods, and it isn't for what they announced today, but it was for how they handled the Bears game.
Oh yes.
So they not only ran out of food, but they also ran out of mostly all of the beer and alcoholic beverages by the third quarter on Thursday. It was just a total shit show. Basically, the only thing that they had left to offer people were Summer Shanty and Vizzy seltzers.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then besides that or whatever, the only bottled stuff that they had was that rainwater that they call a fucking bottle of water, Dijon Blue. I don't know who is keeping this company alive. Dijon Blue is the epitome of curb water. That shit is disgusting. So how that stuff's still around, no clue to me. So bum of the week for how they handled that. Now, I know that we didn't really get a chance to talk about the Bears game that much because we don't really want to. But I wanted to. And I want to use this time to tell you how disappointed I was in the Bears on Thursday. The vibes going into this game were almost as if like you had lost a friend. It was a funeral. But instead of being sad, you were going there to have a good time, and the vibes were high. Vibes were one of the highest that I've ever been to at one of the Bears games. I don't know why us as fans, we continue to go out there and have a good time, spend our money and everything, and love something that doesn't love us back. That game was easily winnable. And I think that's what made it hurt the most, was when we were sitting in the stands. Going into there, we knew we were losing. But when you give us that small glimmer of hope and a shit season, we take small glimmers of hope like that and we turn them into something big. And then our expectations are, hey, we're actually in this. And then at the end, just like that, we lose again. And it just seems like an organization that doesn't give a shit about us. So why should we give a shit about them? And you know where this stems from? Souvenir cups. Okay? souvenir cups. Here's a Chicago Wolves minor league souvenir cup. Okay, look at the detail that they put in this. They put a fucking player on it. Here is the Bears cup for this year. Okay,
I like this turn.
This is the shit that they give us. Look at the thing. They don't even put the team's name on it. They just put fucking San Francisco. Not even the 49ers. Not even the team's logo. Not even Caleb Williams, who is going to be on your team forever. Something that, like, as a kid, I used to love going to sporting events and collecting these cups and having these things and drinking out of them all year long. And this is the shit that you give us? Fuck you, Bears. I'm done.
Shit. All right, Jay, before you wrap us up, we got one last super chat.
Yeah, you're all a bunch of softies. Happy birthday, Joey P. Yes. Thank you, Jackie. Appreciate you. Cheers. All right. I am going to once again, I don't have a bum, so I'm just gonna say my MVP is my original wingman, the Mr. Original Joey P. My fledgling business of selling floppy disks would not, in my freshman year of high school, would not taken off the ground if I didn't have him as my hype man and my push man. So to the original floppy disk, he, like before the things in Vegas were with the cards were a thing, that was Joey P with floppy disks.
He's always been a hype man. He's the best hype man. He hypes the bums more than anybody else we know. He's always been a hype man.
Yeah, so to nearly 20 years of friendship, Joey, cheers. I love your brother, the fifth bum. All right. So like I said, no bums this week, but we got two announcements. So the first one is next week we are going to have our, that's a sexy cup, Johnny. Good, that's a good, nice one.
We're doing souvenir cups. Keep going, Jay.
Yeah. So next Monday is going to be our 2024 Tournament of Bums bracket reveal show. We have the four brackets: the HBIC, the Bologna, the Dougie Fresh, the Southside Bum bracket. We're going to be listing our top 16 bums of the year, and then we're going tournament style right from the get go. So the reveal show is next Monday, and the tournament will start sometime either next Tuesday or Wednesday. So be on the lookout for the Tournament of Bums, and then we are back on Friday. Just only a couple of us though, because we're doing back-to-back happy hours because. The Ramova watch party is for the Blackhawks is on the 10th, which would be a normally scheduled happy hour. But we're running it back with Brewhand Luke, Dougie, and Aaron, the intern, 630 Whiskey. They're going to be reviewing the entire 2024 Bourbon County Stout lineups. So that's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
We know we did the rare day. It was awesome. But now we got the bottles, and they're going to review them. So it's me, Peter, Joey, Johnny, we did the show last week, and Peter, you're going to be hosting it, but it'll be these three replacing instead. So join us on Friday for the Bums Happy Hour presented by Jack's Place. And then, like I said, next Monday, our bracket reveal show. Oh, wait, what was that?
Luke's in the comments. He said he's got the sniffles, and he's just letting us know that there's a possibility if he feels sick, he might not make it. But this is me peer pressuring him into making it on Friday, because otherwise you're out of the graphic, my man. Look, I spend my hard-earned time putting this beautiful face in the graphic. So yeah, we might have to take it out, Luke. It's the ball's in your court.
So, all right. So that is our the wrap up of 2024 for the BumCast. It's been a year, guys. It's been a great year. We've grown a lot this year. The tailgates have grown. We got sponsorships. We've got more subscribers. We've got super chats now. 2024, as much as a shit year that it was for many reasons, personally, sports.
Well, yeah, personally, but in terms of the bums, our teams ain't helping whatsoever.
Yeah. So wrap up ball in 2024. Make sure you go out tomorrow. Be safe. But we're very much looking forward to a great 2025 with the Bums, with us growing, and just we love all you guys. Thank you so much throughout the year for liking, subscribing, sharing, super chatting, just t-shirt, commenting, all that stuff. But yes, buying the t-shirts, coming to the tailgates, coming to the watch parties. We cannot thank you guys. We could not have grown as much as we had this year in 2024 without everyone. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Have a very, very safe, happy new year. We'll see you in 2025. Peace.